Okay, we come to the next question now. In the next one, uh, we come to what is the total electric flux coming out of the falling sphere. I'll just make a sphere. Question is, if I have a sphere like this, and there's a charge Q1 equal to 1 coulomb, Q2 is equal to 3 coulomb, and Q4 is equal to minus 4 coulomb. Question is, find the electric flux coming out of this sphere. In this case, we have to sum up the total charge. What is the total charge over here? Q is equal to 0. In that case, again, if I apply the Gauss theorem, integration of E dot ds is equal to Q by epsilon naught. So it is equal to 0. So E is equal to 0. I can say phi E is equal to 0. So this is how we'll do. We'll count algebraically we'll add all the charges along with the sign, and whatsoever is the value that will conclude. In case it was let's say plus 2, then what I would have done, 1 plus 3 plus 4, 5, 6. I said it is 6 coulomb. The electric field would have been what? 6 by 6 coulomb. 6 coulomb divided by 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12. This I would have solved. Fine. So whatsoever charge is inside, we have to sum up the entire charge, and then we have to take the apply this Gauss theorem. Okay. I come to the next part now. Next question. Next question is, a charge plus Q is distributed uniformly over the sphere of surface of a solid sphere. Let's say, question is, a charge plus Q is distributed uniformly over the surface of a solid sphere. It is surrounded by a concentric means having the same center. Concentric भी बोलते हैं, concentric में होते हैं hollow metallic sphere. Show using Gauss theorem that the inner and outer end have charge minus Q and plus Q respectively. So we already know, but we have to prove it. What is the question? You have a sphere, and in it, this solid sphere, this charge plus Q is uniformly distributed. Then it is surrounded by another shell. This shell has got two sides, outer sides and inner side. This, we have to prove that this charge on it is Q1 and this charge on outer side is Q2, and Q1 is equal to minus Q and Q2 is equal to plus Q. This is you have to prove. You'll say, but this thing we know by logic only, that in case this charge is plus Q over here, then due to induction of charges, what will happen? This side will become minus Q1 and equal and opposite charge will come on the other side, plus Q. So this is minus Q and this is plus Q. This is logic, yeah, I know. But you have to prove it using Gauss theorem. So what we'll do is, we consider a Gaussian surface very close to this thing here, towards the inner side. Let us consider Gaussian surface which is very close to this inner side. and then I'll find out the electric flux coming out of it. Electric flux coming out of it. Okay. If I'm talking about the electric flux inside a hollow sphere, I'll say inside the hollow sphere the total charge is always 0. Since the total charge inside a hollow sphere is always 0, then apply. Then we'll apply. So to prove this thing, okay. So we draw, we imagine a Gaussian surface very close to the metallic shell. Then integration of E dot ds is equal to what is the charge enclosed? Plus q plus q1 divided by epsilon. Okay, and apply Gaussian. So in this case, in E dot ds is equal to plus q1 divided by epsilon. But inside a metallic shell, what is the electric flux? Electric flux is equal to 0. Inside metallic shell, it is like this. So this is equal to q plus q1 by epsilon naught. That means q plus q1 is equal to q plus small q1 is equal to 0. That means q1 is equal to minus q. I repeat this thing. We have imagined that we have a solid sphere which is uniformly charged plus q over here. And then we have taken a shell outside it. It is a metallic shell. And I have to prove that inside this, just inside, it is q1 which is equal to minus q. And just outside I have q2 which is equal to plus q. So this thing I'm using. We imagine a Gaussian surface very close to the metallic shell, so that the charge on it is q1. Okay, and if I very close to. So what is the charge on it? q1, and this charge is q. So what is the total charge enclosed inside this Gaussian surface? This thing which I'm showing, it is capital Q plus q1. So according to Gauss theorem, integration of E dot ds is equal to q plus q1 divided by epsilon. Another thing we know that inside the shell, the total charge is equal to 0, because whatsoever charge you give it inside, also that will come outside. That is the logic we have. So here inside it is equal to 0. That means q plus q1 is equal to epsilon naught. That means q plus q1 is equal to 0 and q1 is equal to minus q. Obviously, since this is minus q on this side, in order to balance this charge, it will be plus q on the other side. Any problem till here? No. Okay. Now I come to the next question. Okay, another question. Suppose I have let's say a spherical shell in such a way like this. The radius of this is r1, the inner radius is r1, and it is outer radius is r2. This is a very what do you call, a thick shell. The covering of the shell is, so the spherical shell has an inner radius of r1 and outer radius of r2. Charge on it, the charge on the top of it, is equal to, let's say, capital Q. The charge on it, under charge, kahin bhi charge denge, the charge will reside on the surface. So charge on it is capital Q. Now you have to find out what you have to find out. In case I have to find out the electric field at this point P. In case I have to find out the electric field at point P, then please tell me what is the electric field given that a charge Q is inside. I repeat, this is a spherical shell. Since I have a spherical shell, the total charge is outside, that is capital Q, but inside also I have kept a charge. I want to find out the electric field at the inner surface at this point P. I want what is the electric field at this point, and what is the electric field at somewhere, let's say outside. Now, spherical shell has an inner radius of r1 and the outer radius of r2. Charge on it is capital Q, that will reside on its surface only. Inside I have kept a charge Q, so this will be minus Q. This will be minus Q. And as a result of it, in order to balance this thing, it will become plus Q. Okay. Question is find the electric field at the surface of inner part of shell and outer part of shell. I'll just find the electrical charge density at the surface of inner part of the shell and outer part of the shell. If I talk about inner part of the shell, what is the charge on the surface? Charge on the surface is minus Q. As a result of it, the surface charge density for this one, sigma 1 is equal to minus Q divided by 4 pi r1 square. Next is, what is the surface charge density on this part? As you can see, the total charge which was already there was Q, and we have given plus Q. How we have given? This was Q. Due to induction, this has become minus Q, as an equal and opposite plus Q has come over here. So sigma 2, that means that in this case, for the outer, it becomes plus Q, small q, capital Q divided by 4 pi r2 square. I repeat, what was the question? The question was that you had a spherical shell which was having a charge capital Q. Inside we have kept a capital small q charge over here. They are asking find the electric charge density at the surface of inner part of the shell and outer part of the shell. Inner part of the shell, the charge is minus q, so this becomes the surface charge density. For outer, it is becoming sigma 2 small q plus capital Q divided by 4 pi r square. Why 4 pi r square? It's a sphere, that's why. All right. I come to the next question. In the next question, we have a closed cylinder of cross-sectional area. A closed cylinder of cross-sectional area 10 centimeters square. 10 centimeters square is kept in free space such that its axis coincides with x-axis. It is subjected to electric field E is equal to 500 I Newton per Coulomb. Find the flux through each end and the charge enclosed in it. Now let's see what the question is. In this question they are considering that this is our x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, and we have a cylinder like this, such that its axis is coinciding with the x-axis. It is like this. This axis of the cylinder, it is coinciding. Now they are also telling us the value of the electric field. The direction, the value of the electric field is given by 500 I Newton per coulomb. If I talk about this area is having the same direction as the electric field. If I talk about this side, here the direction of the area is towards this side, but the direction of electric field is same as before, as it is given 500 I Newton per coulomb. Question is, find out the electric flux through each end. Each end is having area 10 centimeter square. I'll just write down A is equal to 10 centimeter square, which is equal to 10 into 10 raised to minus 4 meters square. We have to find out the electric flux through two phases. So I'll just call this as electric flux because of this phi 1, and because of this it is phi 2. So what is the value of phi 1? Let's write down. Phi 1 is equal to E dot A, and I can say E A cos of 0 degree. So E is equal to 500. This is 10 into 10 raised to minus 4, and this is 1. So it becomes 5000, or I can say 0.5 Newton meter square per coulomb. So this becomes the value. Okay. Now I come to phi 2. Phi 2 means this one. Here E dot A, same formula, but the angle is different over here. Magnitude of E, magnitude of A, it becomes cos of 180 degree. You know, cos of 180 degree is minus 1. So this whole thing becomes 0.5 Newton meter square per coulomb. These are the two electric fluxes through two surfaces. Now, what is the total electric flux? Here, total electric flux is phi 1 plus phi 2, which is equal to 0. Since this electric flux 0, now let's see what is the charge enclosed. Phi total is equal to Q by epsilon naught. That means Q is equal to 0. So there's no net charge enclosed inside this. That's why the total electric flux is coming out to be 0. This is in accordance with Gauss theorem also, that electric flux is equal to Q by epsilon naught. In case there is no charge enclosed, how can we have any electric flux? Okay. Now let's come to another question. Next question. An electric field is given as such, as E is equal to 200 Newton per coulomb for x greater than 0, and E is equal to 200 minus 200 Newton per coulomb for x less than 0. This is a question. X less than 0. Now find the net outward flux through each flat surface. Find the net electric flux through the flat, basically circular caps of the surface. The diagram is given. I have this x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. It is given that I have a cylinder like this, and they are asking you that they have given the electric field, the values of electric field they have given. They are saying then in case it is a plus axis, then electric field is equal to 200 Newton per coulomb. In case I'm going towards the negative side where x is less than 0, then it is equal to minus 200 Newton per coulomb. This is what they are telling us, and you have to find out what is the net outward flux. The diagram is given. This is 10 centimeter, 10 centimeter. This is minus 10 centimeter, and this is given as, the radius of this is given as 5 centimeter. This is the diagram. The diagram based question. An electric field is given as E is equal to plus 200 Newton per coulomb in this region, minus 200 Newton per coulomb in this region. This much is 10 centimeter, minus 10 centimeter, this is plus 10 centimeter. The radius of this is 5 centimeter. Let's find out first of all what is the area. Area is equal to 5 pi r square. So it becomes pi r square. It becomes 3.14 5 into 10 raised per minus 2 into whole square, because it was 5 centimeter. So 3.14 into 25 into 10 raised per minus 4 meter square becomes my area. Now I'll talk about the electric flux coming out through each surface. As we can see, the direction of electric flux is positive in this, negative in this. So here if I'm talking about the electric flux, here this is the direction of area, here this is the direction of area. Now let's find out. For this I call that flux will be phi1, and for this the flux will be phi2. It is just continuation, a similar question of the the way we have done the previous one. Phi1 is equal to E dot A. E dot A, E value is known to us, it is 200, okay, I'll just write down first one, magnitude of E, magnitude of A, cos of 0 degree, so it becomes 200 into 3.14 into 25 into 10 raised to minus 4, this value. Okay, let me solve it later. Phi2, what is Phi2 equal to? Phi2 is equal to E dot A again, and it is equal to magnitude of E, magnitude of A, cos of 180 degree. Here I am talking about the area which is on this side towards the negative x-axis. So this portion E is what here? E is minus 200. This is 3.14 into 25 into 10 raised to minus 4, and this is again minus 1. So this whole thing becomes again plus 200 into 3.14 into 25 into 10 raised to minus 4. We have to find out the net electric flux to the flat surfaces. So I'll simply add the two, and phi total becomes, phi total is equal to just phi1 plus phi2, which is equal to 2 into 200, 2 times into 3.14 into 25 into 10 raised to power minus 4. So it becomes 400, 400 into 25, it becomes what? This 10 raised to minus 4 cancels, it becomes 3.14. Okay. Okay, 3.14, it becomes Newton meter square per coulomb. Fine. Now, will any charge be enclosed inside it? It is an optional thing which I am asking. Yes, charge will be enclosed inside it. And what is the total charge which will be enclosed? Phi total is equal to Q by epsilon naught. So Q will be equal to phi total into epsilon naught. The charge, although it is not asking the question, but otherwise I am telling you charge will be enclosed inside it, because the total flux here is not equal to 0. Now I come to another question. Question is, imagine a cube of side 20 centimeter kept in space. Again, something related to cube. Imagine a cube. Imagine a cube of side 20 centimeter kept in space, if the components of electric field are Ex equal to 500 x raised to power half, Ey equal to 0, comma Ez equal to 0. Find total electric flux through the cube and charge enclosed. Let us see this question. What this question is: we are considering a cube of size 20 cm kept in space. If the components of electric field are Ex is equal to 500 x half, Ey 0, Ez 0. That means we have electric field only and only along the x-axis. Y and z components are 0. This is the electric field 500 x half. This is the value of Ex. I have only in one direction. E, Y and z components are 0. But this is not a constant quantity. It will depend upon the value of x. So suppose I am keeping a cube just like this, like the cube is starting from here. This way it is. The cube is, this portion is starting from origin over here. Let's say, or let's say I keep it at any place. It will hardly matter. It is kept at any place. Let's say it is kept at space somewhere over here. This cube is kept somewhere over here. So like this. Anywhere I am keeping the cube. So wherever I am keeping the cube, what is I'll be having electric flux only this surface. If I just call it as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. We'll be having electric flux only through two surfaces, A, B, C, D face and G, E, F, H face. Only two faces. Why? Because electric field is in this direction, along x-axis only. There is no electric field along y-axis, no electric along z-axis. तो यहाँ से कोई इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स नहीं हो पाएगा, क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स और इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड के बीच में एंगल 90 डिग्री हो जाएगा. हमें चाहिए 0 डिग्री या 180 डिग्री, तभी काम चलता है. यहाँ भी ऐसे ही. अब चलते हैं इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स थ्रू डिफरेंट फेसेस. लेट्स से इट इज एट एनी डिस्टेंस हम मान लेते हैं 20 सेंटीमीटर के डिस्टेंस पे. यहाँ पर सेंटर कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है, 20 सेंटीमीटर पे यहाँ पर है. तो ये वाला जो बी वाला पॉइंट है 20 सेंटीमीटर है, तो एच वाला पॉइंट कितने में जाएगा? 400 सेंटीमीटर पर जाएगा. कितने में जाएगा? 400 सेंटीमीटर पर जाएगा. तो इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड बी पे क्या होगा? 500 एक्स की वैल्यू क्या होगी यहाँ पर? 20 होल हाफ. 20 को सेंटीमीटर को मीटर में कन्वर्ट कर लेंगे और यहाँ पर भी 40 सेंटीमीटर के हिसाब से हो जाएगा. लेट्स फाइंड आउट व्हाट इज द electric field. First of all, I'm mentioning that the electric flux is only through the two faces A, B, C, D and G, E, F, G. The electric flux through this I'm calling it as phi1, and through this I'm calling it as phi2. So what is the value of phi1? Phi1 is equal to E dot A. E dot A. What is E dot A? Let's calculate. E dot will be equal to here, and what is the angle between the two? It is because it is in the same direction. Here A is in the opposite direction. You can see A is in the opposite direction. So magnitude of E, magnitude of A, cos of 180 degree. Let me mention this. So it is minus EA only. What is E? E is equal to 500. Here x value is 20 सेंटीमीटर को कन्वर्ट करो उसमें. 20 सेंटीमीटर इज इक्वल टू 0.2 मीटर्स. सो इट इज इक्वल टू 0.2 रेज टू पावर हाफ. एरिया इज ऑलरेडी वी नो इट इज 0.2 होल स्क्वायर. ईच साइड ऑफ द स्क्वायर इज ऑफ 0.2 मीटर स्क्वायर. सो दिस बिकम्स नाउ minus 500. It becomes 0.2 into 0. It becomes 0.2 raised to power 5 by 2. इसकी पावर हो गई. Similarly, if I talk about phi2 is equal to E dot A, fine, but it is equal to magnitude of E, magnitude of A, cos of 0 degree. So what is E over here? E is plus, and this becomes 500 बट x की वैल्यू क्या होगी, क्योंकि ये आपका जो टर्म चल रहा है वो इस तरह से चल रहा है -500x⁻½ इंटू एरिया। यहाँ पर x की वैल्यू क्या है 20 + 20 इट बिकम्स 40, सो इट बिकम्स व्हाट 40 means 0.4⁻², area is how much 0.2 whole square. All right, now let's find out this is the electric flux through each side of the tube. अगर इस वाले की बात करते हैं इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स 0 है, यहाँ से 0 है, यहाँ से 0, सिर्फ दो फेज हैं वो ही कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स के लिए और नहीं कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं। ओके, आई जस्ट रब दिस थिंग। Now, what is the total electric flux? Total electric flux is to be added. Phi total is equal to phi1 plus phi2. I can see this last phi2 is more and it is a positive number. So I write 500, 0.4 root. It becomes 0.2 only. Okay, let me write 0.4⁻², 0.2 whole square. Minus of 500 into 0.2⁵/2. Let us solve this. 500 and it was equal to into 0.2 whole square and this becomes 0.4½ and this becomes -0.2½. Let's solve it. कितना solve होकर आता है 500 into becomes 0.04 into इसको रूट लेना पड़ेगा and I need to take root of this also. Let's solve. Approximately 0.4 का root, no I can't do it, 0.04 का होगा चला, इसका नहीं है। I have to solve for this क्योंकि 4/10 का हाफ और यहाँ 2/10 का जो हाफ है वो हम लेकर सॉल्व करेंगे इसको। And final answer which we get, let's just let you know the answer. It becomes 3.70 Newton meter square per coulomb. This becomes the answer. And finally, what about the electric flux? Phi total is equal to Q/epsilon. So here Q is equal to phi total into epsilon, and this comes out to be, just telling you the answer, it comes out to be 3.274 into 10⁻⁻12. 10⁻⁻12. This becomes these many coulombs. Just write like 3.274 into 10⁻⁻12. This comes out to be this. क्या करा हमने, क्यूब लिया था, क्यूब जो था 20 सेंटीमीटर के डिस्टेंस पे था तो हम E.A ले लिया -500x⁻², ये किस लिए आया -500, ये वाला उसका फॉर्मूला था। x की वैल्यू वहाँ पर फर्स्ट वाले में क्योंकि हमारे से 20 सेंटीमीटर डिस्टेंस पर है तो 0.2 का होल हाफ एंड दिस बिकम्स 0.2 होल स्क्वायर। ऑन द अदर साइड द 20 सेंटीमीटर और 20 सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर का और डिस्टेंस तो E.A cos 0 डिग्री क्योंकि उसी डायरेक्शन में इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड और एरिया थे। 500 0.4 हाफ 0.2 क्योंकि 0.4 सेंटीमीटर 0.4 मीटर्स वो उससे आगे चला गया वाला फेज है 0.4 हाफ 0.2 स्क्वायर। ओके, देन वी हैव एडेड बोथ द वैल्यूज एंड फाइनली वी हैव फाउंड द Q total. Now let's do a few questions related to linear charge distribution. Question is, I'm just verbally telling you what is the question. In this I have got, let's say, two charge wires. These are two charge wires which are having different charge densities λ1 and λ2. Let's say the value of λ1 is equal to -3 into 10⁻⁻9 coulomb per meter and the value of λ2 is equal to 4 into 10 raised to power minus 9 coulomb per meter. This is negatively charged. Okay. No, sorry. This is negatively charged and this is positively charged. Now I have to find out the electric field because of the two at, let's say, this point. The distance between them is 20 centimeter, and I want to find out the electric field at this point, A point, which is at a distance of 10 centimeter from each. यहाँ से भी 10 centimeter और यहाँ से भी 10 centimeter. Now, how to find out the electric field? Two things you have to remember. Very first thing, the general formula of electric field is lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r. Second thing, which is most important, wheresoever you have to find out the electric field, we imagine that there is a unit positive charge over here. So at A point, I imagine there is a unit positive charge. This charge is what? Q naught. Now this is a positive charge. Because of this positively charged sheet, it will experience repulsion. So electric field, because the first one is in this direction, downward direction. Now this is a negative charge. I'll just mention this thing. Okay, this is positive and this is negative. Sorry. So this is positive. So positive and positive, it will be repelling over here. This is negatively charged. So what will happen? It will experience attraction because of it. That means it will again go down like this. दोबारा रिपीट कर रहे हैं. ये पॉजिटिवली चार्ज शीट थी. यहाँ पर हमने इमेजिन करा एक यूनिट पॉजिटिव चार्ज है. दोनों इसके कारण ये रिपेल होकर इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड नीचे आ गया. अब ये क्या था? नेगेटिवली चार्ज था और ये खुद यूनिट पॉजिटिव चार्ज दे रहे हैं. हम मानेंगे ये भी अट्रैक्ट होकर नीचे की तरफ आ रहा है. ये टोटल इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इज बेसिकली इक्वल टू E1 प्लस E2. वेक्टोरियली ऐड कर लो, न्यूमेरिकली ऐड कर लो, इसका सेम यानी क्योंकि दोनों सेम डायरेक्शन चल रहे हैं. सो इट बिकम्स E total is equal to lambda 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught R1 plus lambda 2 divided by 2 pi epsilon naught R2. Lambda 1 की वैल्यू 3 into 10 raised to power 9 2 pi epsilon naught. इसको 2 pi epsilon naught को जानबूझ के हम क्या करते हैं, 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught को बाहर ही ले लेते हैं और यहाँ लिख देते हैं lambda 1 3 into 10 raised to power 9 divided by R1. R1 is 10 centimeter. 10 centimeter means 0.1 meter from this place. Then plus 4 into 10 raised to power 9, it becomes 0.1 again. 2 pi, this can be written as 2 into 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. क्योंकि 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught की वैल्यू हमें पता होती है. यहाँ पर क्या आ गया? 0.7 into 10 raised to power 9. 0.7 इसको ऐड कर लें. अब ये हो गया 2 into 9 into 10 raised to power 9 into 0.7 into 10 raised to power 9. तो ये कितना हो गया? सॉल्व कर 14 into 9. अच्छा, 10 raised to power minus 9 और plus 9 तो ये आपस में वैसे ही कैंसिल हो जाएंगे. Then I have 126 yes. कितना आएगा? 12.6 न्यूटन पर कूलम. 12.6 न्यूटन पर कूलम. ओके. एनी 0.1 मीटर. 0.1 मीटर. जस्ट अ मिनट. दिस वुड हैव बीन 0.1. ये 70 हो गया था. 70. दिस इज अगेन 70. सो इट बिकम्स 1260 न्यूटन पर कूलम. All right. One more question related to sheets. Okay. Last question. Suppose I've got metallic these sheets, charge sheets, and the charge density on this is sigma 1. This is also positively charged. This is sigma 2. Now how to find out the electric field at any point? Suppose I have to find out electric field at point A. Again, when we have to find out electric field because of A, I'll just imagine that there is a unit positive charge over here. If this unit positive charge over here, what will happen because of sigma 1? It will experience repulsion. That means electric field E1 is in this direction. If I have sigma 2 charge sheet, again because of this it will experience repulsion. That means the total electric field is equal to E1 plus E2, E1 plus E2, and that too along the negative x-axis. That means if I take the whole value of minus, it will be good enough क्योंकि दोनों का direction opposite हो गया. That means minus sigma 1 by 2 epsilon naught minus sigma 2 by 2 epsilon naught. Minus इसलिए लिया क्योंकि this is the negative x-axis, this is the positive x-axis, इसलिए लिया. Now if I have to find out the electric field at this point, B point, at B point, now see that if again I imagine that the unit positive charge, this plus and plus they will repel, so this is E1 in this direction, E2 and E2 again it will repel, again the direction is opposite, so here at B point it becomes E1 minus E2, so it becomes plus sigma 1 by 2 epsilon naught minus sigma 2 by 2 epsilon naught. If I talk about C point, at C point EC is equal to, yes, E1 in this direction and E2 also in the same direction. So it becomes E1 plus E2, which is equal to sigma 1 by 2 epsilon naught plus sigma 2 by 2 epsilon naught. Okay? Okay, thank you and have a nice time. That's all for today.